Here we go. What's up, citizens? President Awall here, and I'm bringing you some Star Wars Force Arena. Thank you, everybody who tunes in and comes watch me live here on the channel. I really appreciate all of you. Snake, Jabba, Ali, Felipe, all of you guys, Bon, that are here to watch this live stream. This is a Krennic heavy aggression deck, and I've seen a lot of feedback from you guys in the comments on my most recent Krennic deck, where I ended up having a turret plus the Treadwell droid, and you guys were saying obviously I should not do that because the Treadwell droid will be spending tons of time healing up the turret rather than focusing on your towers and keeping them alive. I agree. And you guys, so many of you have been encouraging me to get more aggressive with your decks. Immeasurable amounts of aggression. So that's exactly what I'm doing here, and that's what this deck is designed to do, is be aggressive. And because I've become more aggressive, I'm actually the highest rating I've ever been. I'm in the top 1,200 in the world now, which is awesome, the top 1%. And I've had a series of really solid W's with this deck, and I'm pretty happy about it. And just to take a look at my battle log, I've got a couple defeats in there, but for the most part, it's been lots and lots of victories, and overall, I've basically scored about 300 rating points with this deck, which allows me to push in on lanes very quickly and to be able to knock them down instantly with essentially this combo. Throw in the MTV-7 light vehicle up front to tank, stormtroopers roll in there, your bladesmen roll in there doing immeasurable amounts of damage, which is awesome. And then I've got rocket trooper to do supplemental damage in either the other lane or that same lane. But you still need defensive capabilities with your deck, which is why I've got Dewback there to clog up the lane. Obviously, I've got the light vehicle to clog up the lane. Sand Trooper, amazing. It really is such a viable card still. Some of you guys have provided feedback, with the engineers on the other side, you may need some other area of effect clears to take them out. I find that the TIE Fighter gets that work done as much as I need it to, and I just need as much damage as humanly possible to basically push down that initial turret. You need to take it down immediately because those Aqualish engineers are very common. If I'm pronouncing that right, let me know. They're very common with Rebel decks, and so you just need to knock that turret down once you get on top of it, because it's very difficult to get in there after many decks, especially Cassian decks, are designed to be incredibly defensive and to keep things basically up, even if you knock it down below 50% health. So this is a deck that's been working for me. It's higher variance than my defensive decks that you guys have seen, where I've had lots and lots of draws, and then a few victories sprinkled in. This one's like a 2 victories, 1 loss kind of deck, but it's consistent ladder climbing as a result. So I'm just going to take it straight into some gameplay, and we shall see what we can do. And my queue times have been amazing with Empire right now. I've had like 10-second queue times for the most part, so yes, indeed. See, there it is. Bam. Instant pop. Yes. Let me know how the audio and video looks with the stream. I've got a new improved setup here with a mixer and the whole 9. Let me know if the quality is where you want it to be. I'm doing 1080p, 60 FPS, condenser mic, webcam, lighting, the whole 9. I really want these streams to be as high quality as possible. And let me know how the audio levels are and the balance. Shout out. What's up, Ken? Thank you for everybody who's tuning in. This is great. Good to see all of you. And after this stream, I do have a TGN mobile stream that's going to be happening. Whoa, need to use my energy. Need to focus less on the commentary, focus on winning. We've got a TGN mobile stream in the description as well as in the card, that little I button up there on the top. And I'm actually going to throw down the trooper here to take down this vehicle. And what we'll do is we'll pressure this lane, and we'll see if we can move in with a little bit of burst damage on that Han, assuming that he lets us move in on that. He does not. So what we're going to do is pressure the bottom lane. This is something that I've been doing quite often. Ooh, no, but nice Marauders drop there. That was a beautiful Marauders drop by the enemy. So we're just going to use this as sort of a warm-up game, and we're going to kind of get ready, I suppose, to... Ooh, wow. Nice little pressure here from Han, so I'm going to start focusing him down. He can't let me use my immeasurable burst damage on his face. And what we'll do is drop Rocket Trooper here in the top lane, and it'll get a few pot shots in there. But what I'm able to do with this deck is do dual lane pressure. And as you can see, the top lane is taking a lot of pressure, which is exactly what I need. Oh, light vehicle dropped quickly for me, and it did not. Unfortunately, light vehicle didn't pick up the aggro from that tower, so light tank is probably going to take it down. But I should be able to move in and maybe be able to take down this structure. So let's see what we can do. And nice ion mine there by the enemy. Let's see if we can burst it. Got it. There we go. And as you can see, that's the high variance element I was talking about earlier. Oh, the dewback didn't drop. But that's the high variance element I was talking about earlier. Extreme aggression, taking down turrets. It makes it so that you're relatively vulnerable early, but that's something, whoa, see that? Woo, skipping around there, that was nice. But it makes it so that you're actually taking down structures as you want to, and it gives you a bit more control than you would normally have. So he's setting himself up for a nice little defensive scenario here. So I'm going to drop down light vehicle a little bit further back. I'm going to drop down rocket trooper here for that dual lane pressure that I'm always looking to have. And he's going to be forced, I hope, to go back and defend against that. And he's got Chewie, and he's got a whole lot of extra support here on the front lines. Beautiful ion mine there by our friend Han Solo. And this is a great time to use the TIE Fighter to get all that extra damage in there. Unfortunately, his mine is going to defend pretty well against that, and that was an unnecessary Stormtrooper drop, so we're just getting a little bit warmed up here, friends. We're getting a little warmed up here, and this deck is so exciting because you're able to apply so much pressure, and that's something that I'm really enjoying about it, and it's making it so that each and every game is incredibly exciting every single time, and it it makes it so that a lot of the time it's down to the wire in terms of whether you're going to win or not. So he's dropping a Chewie here in the bottom lane, so hopefully my Bladesman will be able to do the single target damage I need, and it looks like he's pushing in on the top lane here, but as you can see, my light vehicle is getting a lot of work done, which is great, and my base is relatively vulnerable, so I'm going to drop down Rocket Trooper here. Unfortunately, as Han was in the area, and we're going to keep the pressure going in this lane here. Ion Mine doing that extra damage on top of our vehicle, which is fine. And we're still in pretty good shape, so this may end up being a draw despite how offensive my deck is. And it's namely because I'm up against Han, who is arguably one of the best defensive characters in the game because of his mines. And there it is. Picking up a draw, which is actually relatively rare in this game, but it's better than a loss. Have I ever tried TIE Bomber? The quality is great, awesome. The top of the video is cut off for you? Is it really though? Can you guys confirm that? I'm looking at the preview here, and it looks like it's good. Let me know if the top of the video is looking good for you guys. Let's take a look at Han Solo's deck. Chewie, anti-aggression. Ion Mine, anti-aggression. Turret, anti-aggression. His trip mines, anti-aggression. So it's an anti-aggression deck here to counter an aggression deck. So of course we're going to result in a draw in that type of matchup. Somebody in the Citizens Guild here, CCC12GG. TIE Bomber is better in 2v2. I agree that it is better in 2v2. I really wish TIE Bomber's cost would be dropped to 3 as opposed to 4. That would be excellent. But we'll see what happens. Krennic is the best, says Dr. Death 97. Of course Dr. Death says that Krennic is the best. Of course he does. It all looks fine to you guys. Great. So happy to see that. Awesome. Beautiful. So that's what I'm trying to do, guys. What I really want to do on the channel is do a regular live stream in the same time block every single day so you guys can count on it. Right now my live streams have been completely random. I know this is very early in the morning for some of you. For my friends in Europe and across the pond, it might be a little bit better time for you. But I might be able to do this time on a regular basis, maybe Monday through Friday. That's my objective at least. And that's what I'm trying to do. So we'll see if we can make that happen or not. Cool, looks like he's going to drop a few units here on the back line. I'll tank a little bit of damage here from these troopers. And what is it? It's Pathfinders. It's Pathfinders, and this is why I put Sand Trooper in my deck, is so that I can counter these types of pushes. And now I have lots and lots of horrible, terrible damage that are going to rain upon the enemy. And no doubt they're going to do that nice burst damage to me. But what I'm going to do is throw Rocket Trooper here in the top lane and hopefully get in a few pot shots on that structure. And it's just non-stop aggression. Yeah, all game long. Non-stop aggression. So we'll drop down Dewback to counter all of that goodness. And let's see if we can get in a nice little bit of burst damage. There it is. Against those units. And Dewback gave me a really nice counter in the top lane. It was a 4-for-4 energy exchange. And while he's dealing with Dewback in top lane, I'm going to move in bottom lane and see if I can get a little bit of damage on this structure. There's a little bit, but I need to back up and make sure that I do not die. And I've got one more health pack available to me. Okay, here it is. He's going to move in with a bit more pressure, so we'll drop the troopers here on the side. Those Pathfinders, I'm letting them get in a little bit too much freebie damage on me. So need to be very, oh no. Need to be very, very careful about that. And we'll drop down. Ooh, I was hoping to hit the enemy hero there with that TIE fighter, and that was actually a waste of energy. So despite that waste of energy mistake, we're going to save up some energy, and the bottom lane pressure should continue. Let's see if they do a bit more of dual lane pressure. That would not be my preference. I'm the one who's supposed to be doing dual lane pressure. But regardless, we're going to drop down a Sand Trooper right behind this light vehicle so that maybe we can move in here and make a move. Let's see if we can make a move. They're probably going to try to get the pick on me, which is fine. And I'm going to need to back up to see if I can defend. That was a very effective defense here by the enemy. And I'll drop down a Bladesman right on... Oh! I was hoping that the Bladesman would actually be on top of their hero there, and that was definitely not the case. Luckily, those Bladesmen are tanking a bit for me. So with the Dewback up front, we're still in pretty decent shape. And what we'll do is just move in with a big pressure move here. And nice light vehicle counter. That was really good. Going to drop the Sand Trooper on the back line here for that inevitable mob that he's going to be dropping. And if he drops a Grenadier here, though, it'll be pretty devastating. So let's see if we can take Grenadier down. We do. And get a little bit of burst damage in on the hero. Didn't. You get to use that pistol damage. And that was not what I wanted. I hit the button, and it didn't do what I needed it to do. So he may end up picking up the victory here as a result. Because I was unable to kill his hero in that clutch moment. That was on me. I didn't hit my ability button quickly enough. Had I done that, I would be able to take out the enemy hero, and I would have been able to move in for the W. So that was actually a play mistake on my behalf on that particular game. Let's take a look at their deck, though. Heavy aggression, very fast deck. With their unique here, with Wookiee up front to tank, light tank, whatever, but lots and lots of mob units. So that was actually on me. If I had hit my button, I would have done that 360% burst damage, killed their hero, and been able to move in, but we're warming up. This is early morning for me. The president is so calculated. No. Oh, my computer almost restarted there. That was bad. Windows is trying to do updates. I told it to do an update at 3 a.m. tomorrow, and it's like, hey, why don't we just do an update now? Right in the middle of this stream? No problems, we'll just do an update. Don't you know I'm streaming, Windows? Don't you know I'm streaming? Alright, it's alright. We're gonna be as calculated as possible in all of these W's, and in all of these games, and try to pick up as many wins as we can. And you have to recognize when you make a mistake and try not to make that mistake again next time. So there we go. That actually was a pretty solid pack. I will take it. And beautiful. So let's go in and try to pick up some more games here. 1 draw, 1 loss so far. This is actually, I tend to perform worse when I'm on a live stream versus when I'm focusing just 100% on winning. But the whole point of this is to kind of explain my tactics. Oh my gosh, you were the player that just beat me, says Annie name 3001. Oh my god. You just beat me live on my own stream while you were watching me. You just stream sniped me. You stream sniped me. Don't be too aggressive, you say, yeah. So some of you are suggesting, hey, put a stun in your deck. I have put a stun in this deck before, and what I noticed is that I didn't quite have the amount of damage that I wanted. So we'll drop Dewback way back in the back and let it slowly lumber forward. They've got an engineer set up and ready. So I think they're just waiting on me to make a move. So I guess we'll just do a push here in the top lane and see what happens. Cool. And while that's happening, we're going to drop down Rocket Trooper here and see. Oh, but they dropped down the light tank. Nicely done. They dropped down the light tank. Really nice work. I'm getting a bit of lag, as you guys can see. I'm hitting the button a bunch of times, and stuff isn't dying as quickly as I need it to. So that happens. See if I can burst the tank down a little bit here. Beautiful. And we ended up getting some damage on the top lane there, but it didn't do the amount of damage that we needed. So we're probably just going to kill his engineer. Hopefully that is within range. There it is. Killing his engineer. As you can see, I'm running amok a little bit. A little bit of latency, a little bit of ping issues here, but we should be able to plow through. And, you know, we just have to be more calculated. Whenever your ping isn't where you need it to be, you just need to be more careful with how you're playing your cards, making a bit more of a safer move, etc. And Rocket Trooper should be able to get some damage in here. We'll do a little bit of burst damage and back up. Good stuff. I'm going to put some Stormtroopers here to punish him for coming in to deal damage to my Rocket Trooper. And hopefully Sand Trooper will be able to clear most of this out. Burst, 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 burst. Got the burst. That's great. And with that, we'll go ahead and pressure the top lane. Or actually, we'll just pressure the... Well, I was going to pressure the bottom lane. That's fine. And hopefully the light vehicle can target the structure. It does. Great. They're going to come back and obviously counter that. And so we just need to figure out what we're going to do in terms of defense. Dewback should be able to defend here pretty nicely. We'll drop down Bladesman as well. Hell, we'll even drop the Stormtrooper and see what we can do. If the Engineer comes to heal the top turret, we've got our TIE Fighter available to deal with that. And that's probably going to happen here in just a moment. So, where are you, Engineer? Are you going to come and help out your friends? Where is the Engineer at? Here he comes. Hey, Engineer. You ready to get shot? Yes, you are. And you're dead. And we got damage in on the structure. That's good stuff. So what we're going to do here is... Oh, God, the lag. Look at this. I'm stuck. Oh, God, the lag. But I think we should be able to take out the enemy hero. And no, we were unable to take it out. Dewback Trooper needs to get in there and tank. And now this is actually going to be a pretty clutch defensive scenario. They've got another Engineer going here, so we're going to use yet another TIE Fighter to clear it out. And it's down. So now that we're moving into overtime, we have a chance to pick this one up. Good stuff. And I'm just going to save up some energy. And do they have another Engineer? They do. They have yet another Engineer. So let's see if we can move in and we can get a little bit of pressure going here. Going to put a Dewback up front to deal with that inevitable mob that's going to be in place. And the Grenadier is going to be a problem. Let's see if we can get the burst damage. Got it. There it is, and hopefully we'll be able to pick up this turret. And I think we're going to get it. There it is. Engineers down, and there's the turret, and there's the W. Yes! 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 You guys were pushing for me in the comments. YOLO push now. I know the lag is real, but if you can win through lag, then it means that you have your game down. You have your tactics down. You have your strategy down to a science, to where you can anticipate the enemy moves. Excuse me. You can anticipate the enemy moves, and you can make the right decisions every step of the way, and that's what I'm trying to do. So let's take a look at the enemy deck here. Engineer to repair. This is actually a really, really good, Ezra deck. It's actually really solid. He's got a level 3 Ezra. That would explain why he was able to do so much damage and be difficult to deal with. Engineer at level 4, that's like a 1.5% heal on structures per second. That's pretty massive. And I agree with all the other cards here. It's actually a really good deck. But it wasn't necessarily a counter-aggression deck. And this deck with the X-Wing is made to take down a bit more mob, and I don't have that much mob in this deck. I mean, Rocket Trooper and Stormtroopers are pretty vulnerable to the X-Wing, but I don't know. I think the Bladesman can take a hit before they die, and I think Sand Trooper can take a hit before he dies, depending on the level differential between those two. Dewback takes the probe droid spot. Yes, it does. And so you guys are asking, why do I put Rocket Trooper into my deck? And it's because it provides that extra supplementary damage when I'm pushing a particular lane. And it also allows me to do dual lane pressure with that card. So if I drop my MTV7 light vehicle in one lane, throwing stormtroopers in that lane, and they're like, all in, I've got to blow all my energy to defend and move my hero over there. Throw rocket trooper in the other lane, and it just starts drilling their structure. And now, do they blow energy on dealing with your main attack to go deal with your rocket trooper? What are they going to do? And that makes it difficult for them to deal with that, and that's a part of good aggression decks. It's not just about pushing one lane, it's about pushing both lanes and throwing your opponent off balance. So, just curious, you're asking about Super Chat, says C-Zip. Do you get 100% from Super Chat, or does YouTube take a cut? YouTube does take a cut of Super Chat to process the transaction. However, the rest of it goes to me. So if you guys do want to give me Super Chats, you know what I want to do? I want to spend that Super Chat money on buying some Platinum packs and some Diamond packs and opening them up on a stream in the future. And if you guys, yeah, right now I don't have enough money to do that. But God, I'm actually missing a bunch of uniques on the Empire side. And see all those uniques I'm missing? That's the unique I want the most right there, Imperial Royal Guards. I want to play Emperor Palpatine so bad, but I want the Royal Guards card in order to make that deck more viable. As you guys know, Emperor Palpatine is my absolute favorite character in all of the Star Wars universe. Cool. As you guys can see from my YouTube banner, it's a picture of freaking Emperor Palpatine as me going, ah. Yes, my friends. Your friends will die. Palpatine's the shit. Oops. I know there's kids watching. Palpatine is awesome. Alright. Will I make a Cassian deck? I'm thinking about it. Cassian is really good. I'm gonna shoot his face. Hey Cassian, go use your health packs, please. Thank you. Uh-oh, mob in the bottom lane. Rut-row. And we're gonna use TIE Fighter. Wow! Holy early game aggression, Batman. That was intense. That was an intense amount of early game aggression. Let's see if we can get a pick here on Cassian. Drop the Bladesman. Yes, so close to killing him. Unfortunately, we didn't get him. Holy early game aggression, Batman. That was so much early game aggression. I just let him really plow in there. I was getting excited about Emperor Palpatine, and I let myself, I took my eye off the ball there. So speaking of dual lane aggression, that's exactly what this enemy is doing. And let's see if we can get a little bit of burst damage on him. Hey buddy, you gonna let me kill you? You are gonna let me kill you. Thank you, appreciate it. And now we're gonna get to move in on this lane, which is awesome. And this is why I put Rocket Trooper in the deck. Rocket Trooper will now sit on the back lines and provide supplementary damage regardless of what units come up the lane to deal with me, which is great. And yeah, I love it. So now they're going to have tons and tons of mob, and they're probably going to take the structure down, which is fine. And what we'll do is use TIE Fighter here, clear out his units, and then burst him. Oh, I was hoping to pick up the burst damage there, and it didn't work out necessarily. Oh, nice Pathfinder's drop. That was a really nice positioning on the Pathfinders, but Dewback, come on, baby. Come on, Dewback. Charge him! Show that Cassian what's for. Show him what's for. And they're going to continue to pressure this bottom lane, so I'm going to continue to kill that stuff, which is fine. And now it's a battle for the top lane. Ooh, this is going to be intense. This is going to be very fun and intense. Let's drop Bladesman here. Should get a couple pot shots. Got him, picked it up. And now this is the time for aggression. He dropped a forward turret on me, and here's the Rocket Trooper drop. This is why I put Rocket Troopers in my decks, guys. Rocket Trooper shots provide that beautiful supplementary damage, and big TIE Fighter drop. Huge TIE Fighter drop. And I'm going to move back into a more defensive position here. That was just so good. And if I drop Bladesman next to his Cassian, they should target him. There it is. Forcing him to pull back. And I'll see if I can deal with him. Looks like they've got this structure here to help counter me. That's actually really good. This is a great time to use a Rocket Trooper, actually, to take it down. So we need to be very careful. And just continue to defend here. This is a highly... Oh, come here. I'm gonna hit the button and you die. I hit the button and you die. That's what I'm talking about. And while we're at it, we're gonna throw a light vehicle up his right lane. And now he's got unbelievable amounts of pressure to deal with. There it is. And yeah, for those of you that don't know, Krennic His passive is 10% faster recharge rate on energy, and that's why I'm using him. And it just allows you to be more aggressive. You have more energy to throw at your opponent. 10% more power, immeasurable amounts. That's actually quite measurable. It's 10% is the amount of measure. So there you go. Hopefully kid's still sleeping. I'll try to keep it PG. I try. Sometimes I just get really excited while I'm playing, as you guys know, and I'll curse on accident. But some of you guys have told me that you pull up my videos in the living room, maybe the kids are around, maybe you don't like cursing yourself, so I try to keep it as PG as possible, so that you guys can enjoy my content. You can turn it on in your house or whatever and not worry about some YouTube guy cursing up a storm, and making your experience kind of crap. So there you go. Awall, why don't you start trading unique for uniques every day? I've actually been trading legendaries for legendaries. And is that logical or not? I don't know. I'll tell you why I'm doing it. It's not logic, it's basically fun. But I'm trying to get level 2 of Dengar, so I can bring Dengar back. So we can make Dengar great again. But without level 2, it's difficult for me to justify using that card in comparison to all of my other level 2 leaders, such as my Boba Fett, or my Bosk, or my Callus, or even my Krennic. And so I need Dengar to be level 2 for that reason. So there you go. Unlimited power. Krennic is sick. You're using a Krennic deck. Awesome. Very, very nice. Stun Ben and kill him. How do you play against Obi-Wan stealing? That is a great question. So this deck is very, very vulnerable to Obi-Wan stealing. Massively vulnerable. Because of the... a lot of the time what I'm doing is I'm pushing in with a light vehicle, and then I'm dropping a few stormtroopers, and then they'll get a big conversion. And then at some points I've gotten my MTV7 light vehicle and my dewback converted simultaneously, and then I have to fall back and defend against that massive push. I'm very vulnerable against that. But I am running into those bends not as often as you would think. So, yeah. Here, I'm going to grab my snack. It is early morning. I'm freaking hungry. So I'm going to eat a little bit of Cliff Bar here while we're waiting for the next game. If I'm going to do these early morning streams, I need to eat something. And you guys are going to have to watch me eat something. That's just how it is. Don't worry, this isn't one of those South Korean eating streams where you watch somebody eat and then you donate tips to watch them eat. Are any legendaries viable at level 1 is the question? Yes, a lot of them are. But, one thing you have to ask yourself is, what is more viable? Your legendary that's at level 2 versus your one that's at level 1. And so I welcome you to experiment with legendaries that are at level 1. I actually lose games to people that have level 1 legendaries all the time. But the bottom line is, you're trying to make the decisions based on the cards that you have and what can increase your win rate to the maximum possible, right? Cool, so let's get the light vehicle going here. And then what I'll do is I'll drop Rocket Trooper in the top lane. And undoubtedly, ooh, wow, we've got Royal Guards here. Interesting. I've been seeing Royal Guards a bit more recently. So Dewback should do a great job of countering all of this madness. And I think that was just an Imperial Troopers counter there. And I should be able to take all of this out and save as much energy as possible. Ended up taking a little bit of extra damage in the top, a little bit more than I wanted, but that was a pretty even exchange. And the Rocket Trooper dual push, hopefully, will throw him off kilter a little bit, so that he realizes he has to defend both lanes a lot. So he's got the Aqualish here, so I'm going to use my TIE Fighter and take it out. Beautiful. Oh, so gross. He's like, really? I liked that unit. He was my friend. And now here's that dual lane pressure I was telling you guys about earlier. Ooh boy, I'm taking all kinds of damage here. And leader defeated, that's good stuff. But unfortunately, he has this gigantic freaking push, pushing into my base. So what I'm going to do is drop Stormtroopers here for that single target damage and burst down his light tank. I'm not going to let these guys pot-shot my structure as much as I had before. And no, I really don't want your engineer. I really don't want him repairing stuff. So I'm just going to continue to kill you. Oh no, don't get hit by that damage. Unfortunately, I did. So he keeps dropping engineers. I keep trying to kill them as quickly as possible. And if you use your TIE fighter or whatever you have at your disposal regularly, then you can kill the engineer before it gets much heals going. You're in a pretty good position to be able to get, I guess, value out of that exchange. So here we go. We're going to drop down light vehicle here. We're going to drop down rocket trooper here, and we're going to drop down stormtroopers. And we're going to switch lanes and make sure that we pick up the kill on the tower here. There it is. Got it. And come on, run backwards, Krennic. Run backwards. Oh god. Lag, 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 lag. Couldn't do anything. Actually, I think it was actually it was not lag in that situation. It was me getting stunned, I believe. So he ended up doing a really good job there of pressuring me super, super hard. And what we'll do is we'll pressure this lane. And let's see if I can get... I can't get any pot shots on him right now. So, bam! Big old TIE fighter. Love it. Love the big TIE fighters. And let's see if he pressures that top lane. He has to get the pick on this top lane. I'm going to drop down a dewback there to defend. And now in this position, let's see if we can get a little burst damage. Okay, doesn't matter. There's the W. And that's the aggression working out, my friends. Awall, do you think Bladesmen are way too OP for their cost, and should they be nerfed, says Monster Arena. I don't want them to be nerfed, because I think they're so good. They're relatively low HP, and they are melee, so they can be killed before they even reach a target, right? So Grenadier, grenade toss, 2 grenade toss, they're dead. And they're relatively low HP, so you can take them out pretty quickly. I don't think that they're OP. They are very strong, though. They are one of the stronger cards in the entire Empire arsenal, in my opinion. What size socks do you wear, and what product do you wear in your hair? Wow, is that questions people ask on live streams? Is that something I'm supposed to be comfortable with? I'm not going to tell you what size socks I wear, but I will show you my socks. Because I got some awesome socks. These are Godzilla socks. This is Godzilla attacking a city. The city is on fire socks. Those are my Chuck Taylors. This is now a lifestyle and vlogging channel. As you can see, I've got the new Chuck Taylor 2s. They're leather. They're super cool. I've got Godzilla right here. And that's fire right there. And this is the city being destroyed in this area. Feel free to purchase that with my affiliate link. I get a cut. I don't get a cut. Okay, beautiful. Alrighty then. Good morning, Jeffrey. Good morning, everybody. Hollow quotes me as saying he's pressuring super hard. He just picks out that quote out of nowhere to make me look like I'm some kind of lush, as they would say in the 1930s. Some kind of lush. Good morning, Gigasloth. Thanks for joining the stream. So yeah, for those of you that are just joining, this is the deck. This is Krennic Aggression. Look at this man's face. Just look at his face. That's a man that means business. Beautiful. Let's go into some 1v1s. Let's do it. And so for you guys, what I'm trying to do is create a streaming schedule here on my channel, like I mentioned earlier. I'm going to do one stream on my channel, and then I'm going to do a stream right after that on TGN Mobile. And the stuff I'm going to do on my channel is going to be a little bit more hardcore and more advanced. I'm just straight up going into these games with this hardcore deck and just getting straight into it. You guys are a bit more familiar with the game. Right after this stream, I'm going to be streaming on TGN Mobile. There's a link in the description as well as the I button up there in the top. And I'm doing a Krennic guide video. And the intention of that stream is to have it be a bit more new player focused, because that's sort of a new audience on that channel. And what is this guy doing? I don't care. I'm going to do some big pressure here. We're going to see if we can get some quick early game damage in on this structure. Boop, 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 boop. Quick early game damage. And he's got a... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Polar bear with a minigun is so dangerous. Polar bear with a minigun. Oh, my gosh. No, don't target me, polar bear. Oh, gosh. and he's got tons and tons of damage coming down this bottom lane. Need to drop the Stormtroopers there. Gonna drop the Bladesman. Oh, come on, die. Gotcha. Gotcha. And we're gonna drop Rocket Trooper here. I think he's got did he have an Engineer dropped? No, he didn't have oh, I need to be very, very careful about what I do here. But we're pressuring both lanes, which is good stuff. And I need to heal up because they can burst damage me down. And I need to make sure that I don't get hit by such damage as this. And with Sand Trooper on the back lines, we should be able to clear out the majority of these Marauders pretty quickly. That's why I keep Sand Trooper in my decks, and I don't do something like a Dioxis Grenade. And while we're at it, we're going to drop down a light vehicle in the top lane and just see what happens. Target that structure, baby. Target that structure. And, oh no, the Engineer's right there in front of my Stormtroopers. Luckily, the Stormtroopers got the pick, and we picked up the turret. And that's that quick aggression, but no, it's a Gonk Droid. Kill it. Kill it with fire. Yes. Kill it with fire. Beautiful. And I'm actually going to... No, I'm not going to use that card. I'm going to save my energy for defensive scenarios such as this. And how did the light vehicle target my structure there? I thought I had the dewback dropped in time. But I'm going to see if I can get the pick here on the enemy leader. Enemy leader says, I care not about whether I live or whether I die. I just care about picking up kills. They're all about their KDA. So that's why, guys, look at this Rocket Trooper getting work done for me all the time. And there it is. So they may be able to pick up... They might get both structures here. They might get both structures here. To the O. That was not good. That was not good at all. So we're going to burst him down. They're going to try to run away, but I'm going to drop Bladesman here right behind him. There it is. And so what we're going to do is try to get some damage in on their base. So I've got Rocket Trooper drilling their base right now. And what we're going to do is some dual lane pressure against their base. And got a little bit of damage there against the satellite dish. And let's see, now that I have tons of... Oh no, back. Now that I've got tons of units in the top lane, what I'll do is I'll drop down some more here in the bottom lane. And now I've got that dual lane pressure, which is extremely difficult to deal with. The satellite dish dies, and that's GG. That is aggression. That is Krennic aggression. Gonk Droid too strong. Gonk Droid too strong. You still don't have Krennic. He looks nice. What do I prefer, Krennic or Thrawn? I actually don't have Thrawn. It's sad. I know. I really need to focus on... you can get Thrawn through missions, right? I actually don't have him. It's strong in 6-up Gonk. Yeah. Sabine? Is that how you pronounce it? Sabine? Sabine? I'm not as familiar with that character. But let's take a look at this deck. They've got, obviously, light tank. Polar Bear with a Minikun is still very dangerous. But it really shines if the enemy's throwing ATSTs at you. If they don't have ATSTs, it's a relatively vulnerable card. It can be bursted down. It can be killed. It can be killed. It absolutely can. Beautiful. GG. Why no Death Trooper? This is why. Death Trooper is not an aggressive card. Death Trooper requires setup time. Death Squad Leader has to be set up at the very back lines and slowly move forward towards the enemy base. That's the way you have to play Death Squad Leader. And it allows the enemy too much time to be able to anticipate it, to be able to use ion mines on it, and just to be able to kill the card. For 5 cost, there's no surprise factor like there is with a Chewie. Surprise, you're getting taunted. Or a surprise factor like there is with a Kenobi. Surprise, your units are mine. Instead, Death Squad Leader's just like slowly walking forward, looking cool with the gun. Not as effective for an aggro deck. If you want to do an extremely defensive deck, or you want a 2v2 deck, then yes, of course, put Death Squad Leader in there. Very, very defensive card. Not so great at the offensive decks. That's just my opinion. As you guys can see, I'm making significant progress with this aggro deck, and as soon as I pulled Death Squad Leader out of my deck, I was able to, I was able to really make it happen. So I'm pretty happy with the progress there. Focus on missions for legendaries, but missions are boring. They're so boring. Like right now, I have to defeat leaders in 2v2 matches for the Rebel Alliance. Like, basically this mission is lose rating points. Really? I don't want to do a mission where I have to lose rating points. I don't like that mission, and so I've been avoiding it. I want to get rating points. I don't want to lose rating points. So I'm not really too interested in that. Destroy enemy turrets for the Rebel Alliance. I could actually accomplish that through 1v1s. I need to do the can't fix this. I just haven't been a mission-focused guy. And I tell you guys, do as I say, not as I do. Because I've been telling you guys, do the missions. And I myself, I should be doing more of the missions. So this will be the last game that I do on this particular stream, guys. But I'm going to be firing up a stream like immediately after this one, top of the hour on TGN Mobile. So there's a link in the very top of the description on the stream. There's also one in the card up there in the top, the eye. Click that, pull open that stream on another window. I'm going to be going live on there on the top of the hour. Let's just do another 1v1 here with Krennic. The next stream is going to be a Krennic guide. So there's probably going to be a bit more new players watching that stream. And so your help in advising them, like, we need to get more players in the game, right? We constantly need a new stream of new players in this game to keep the servers populated, to keep it so that the ladder is not extremely top heavy, and just to have this game be viable in the longer run, right? So I need to continue to do new player content so that those new players can figure this game out and not just get crushed, right? There are some good 2v2 Rebel decks out there. I would love to know what those decks are. I would love to know. So we're going to drop down the light vehicle and then the dewback. And looks like our friend, Luke Skywalker, is going to be very, very aggressive. We're going to kill him, of course. There it is. And now we're going to drop Rocket Trooper in this lane. Oh, wow. He got really aggressive. We're going to drop down the Troopas here. And now we've got dual lane pressure. This is great. So we're just going to shoot his structure. We're going to go pew-pew on his structure. And we got a little bit of damage in there. Not as much as I wanted, to be honest. And now we're kind of in a crap position. So I'm going to need to drop down Bladesmen here. The Bladesmen are going to do some damage to the tank. And this, whoa, this is a extreme, oh god. Look at the level on that Luke. That is a level 4 Luke. What in the actual heck? What in the actual heck? Level 4 Luke. That is Crazy Town, USA. We're in Crazy Town, USA, and he is the mayor. He's doing a pod drop right on top of my stuff. Wow. That is just totally nuts. So, that Luke is going to be continuing to dive bomb my base, undoubtedly. And they'll probably continue to be able to rack my stuff up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to counter this. And he's just going to keep suiciding on my base. I picked up his turret. But wow, a level 4 Luke. Yowzers. Yowzers indeed. We're going to drop down Bladesman here, and we're going to see if we can get a little bit of pressure in on this turret. I'm pressuring his base, and now, of course, he's forced to defend. But he is just, here he goes. He's like, I'm Luke, y'all. I'm Luke. I'm just going to go straight for your base. I'm going to kill your stuff. And we're going to drop down some stormtroopers here for that supplementary damage. But I don't know if I'll be able to pick this one up. This is just, I've never seen Luke's. This Luke literally has immeasurable power. It's pretty immeasurable. I'm dying. I'm dying. Turret destroyed, okay, but I'm still behind a turret. I'm still behind a turret, and here he comes. He's like, hey, let's go ahead and suicide. Oh, I'm not behind a turret. I'm sorry, I'm even on turrets. So we're going to keep dropping these rocket troopers and seeing if we can stay alive in this scenario, and I'm just going to keep pressuring their base and seeing if I can force them essentially to stay in their base. And he's, yeah, this thing's focusing me. Yes, I got it! Are we gonna beat somebody who had a level 4 Luke? Are we gonna beat them? I don't know. He might be able to suicide on the structure here. Come on, Dewback. Do that damage I need you to do. Yes! 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 Level 4 Luke. Take the loss. 35 points. The highest rating I've ever got. Guys, give me a thumbs up on this stream. That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what's up. Look at his deck. Actually, his deck's not that great. It looks like he's traded a lot of cards for a lot of legendaries to get that level 4 Luke. That's a lot of legendary cards. We picked up the W. Yes! All right. So last plug in the description, the I button. Click it right now. This stream is about to go offline, and I'm going to do a stream in just a few minutes on TGN Mobile. Go over there, support me there, and support new players. This will become a video, so I will tell you, once this is a video, I will throw up above my head a link to subscribe to TGN Mobile, my other channel that I'm doing with some YouTuber friends. And subscribe there, more mobile gaming content. Also going to throw some videos over here for you to watch more of my Star Wars Force Arena content and other games. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate all of you guys. See you in the next stream. You better be there. I'm going to see every one of your names. Eugen, Chris, Unipanther, all of you. Be there. Bye-bye. Adios.